How would you feel if you were in the room with Seth Rogen and Olivia Wilde as they were trying to fix their marriage with some comedic elements in there? You get the invite.
Yes.
Me too.
Yes, also you.
I had no idea what I was walking into with this movie. I was expecting some type of comedy because Seth Rogen is in it, and while he normally plays the same trope of Seth Rogen, he only plays half of it, which I think this movie did a very good job at writing his character as like a husband who's given up on his dream to be a musical artist, and so now he's teaching. Olivia Wilde played a great wife up with Seth Rogen playing the husband. It was interesting seeing their dynamic of a relationship starting right at the beginning where they're in love with each other, and now they have a kid who's off at a sleepover, so they're figuring out dinner and putting the house together and bringing guests over, and things take a turn because these two guests are the neighbors, but some loud noises happen upstairs. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Two twists in here. Now, we see the comedy of a back and forth between Seth Rogen and Olivia Wilde as a husband and wife complaining about different things. It's great dialogue. I would say these characters are written really well. So is the script for the comedic timing, and I felt like I was watching Vacation again with how subtle the elements of comedy were placed here and there as they were in their dialogue sequences. It was great. I loved when Edward Norton and Penelope Cruz, their characters came in, and then now there's this tension between Seth Rogen's character and their characters because they're too loud upstairs, and he's trying to get the point by them, and so Edward Norton, his character, is picking up on what Seth is laying down, and it's just funny all around. And then the first twist had me like, oh man, it's gonna be this type of movie where they involve a bunch of sexual things, but honestly, it wasn't that crazy. And then comes the second twist, which makes it even more heartfelt. I was blown away by the ending and just like almost teared up because of how emotional the ending was. And you could see this whole build-up from the beginning to now the end of this like redemption arc for the characters. It was just awesome, and I loved how A24 put this film together to be funny but emotional at the same time. You don't see that really, especially with two characters who have been married for so long. Now they're getting in a fight, and then they're able to connect at the end. And even throughout the movie, there are some elements of them agreeing on things versus disagreeing on things. It's just a great story for this type of movie. I really liked the shots of the characters, especially inside of the apartment where it's small. Sure, it looks big. It's probably a 3-bedroom apartment in San Francisco, but the way that we are looking at the characters inside of this apartment, you feel like you're in the home itself. There's a shot where all 4 characters are talking to each other, but Olivia Wilde is posted up on this wall piece, and then Seth Rogen's sitting on the couch, and then Edward Norton and Penelope Cruz are sitting together on another couch. And so like each shot is very purposeful and intentional with showing you how the characters are living in this moment. And you feel very immersed, even though it's a normal living room shot, you feel immersed with them and in their conversation. As the tension builds, you kind of feel like you're on a couch, like you're kind of holding the pillow so tightly because of how much weight and strain is on the relationship between Seth Rogen and Olivia Wilde. They see this new couple that is experiencing this honeymoon phase for the first time, and they're in like maybe a decade or more of marriage, so their relationship is kind of dying off. And there's like a back and forth that's happening in this scene. Let's talk about Seth Rogen and his trope. We've normally seen him as a stoner guy that laughs very funny. He has a signature laugh, which he does in this movie. But this movie depicts him as something different. Sure, he smokes weed once, and he has his dumb laugh. But I think the way that this movie depicts him as a loving husband, someone who is going through just pain, the pain of being old. Like his back hurts, he rides a bike because he needs to exercise. All of this is pretty funny and something that I haven't normally seen from Seth Rogen before. So it was a good addition to his character in this movie. I think giving him this outlet of being a musical star, where he was in a band and now he's kind of lost his way, puts more emotion on his character, and the way that he progresses through this story makes you want to root for him and his relationship. He's died out, he's lost his dedication and motivation, so now you want him to get better with his wife, who is a stay-at-home wife. She renovates the house, like she picks all of this furniture up and makes the apartment better, but that's not going to help their relationship unless both of them get together and hash it out. We see a lot of hashing out between the two characters, but nothing really helps them build a foundation to actually make things better until the end, where there's like a snapping moment, and that's where we see the second twist. After this whole Act 2 twist, then Act 3 comes, and you're like, wow, what am I getting myself into? Next thing you know, waterworks are on, and you're crying by the end of the movie. Overall, this movie was great. I loved the whole story set in this tiny apartment, and the tension between each relationship that comes into this. The comedy was awesome. It was something that I haven't seen in a really long time, especially something so grounded as this story. So the dialogue was written perfectly. I loved it. And each twist from Act 2 and Act 3 was something that I didn't expect, but I was pleasantly surprised with how they carried it out. Since I'm late to the party with this movie, I would really suggest watching this at home once it comes out on streaming or even renting it. This is a great movie for a couple who's been together for a month or longer than 10 years. Like, this is something that you could sit down, have fun, break out the wine and charcuterie board, and just laugh with and get some emotion here and there. The Invite is great to see. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below if you've seen this movie, if there were any shortcomings, or what you really liked from this movie.